Okay, guys, good morning. Um, I look like I got really good sleep, right? So let me just share this. This one's for COMMGiving. I'll get to it as soon as I put up on Twitter. All right. Um, COMMGiving. It's become something of more of an advice website for people who advertise. It's become more of a website for advertisers. And less so of a website for ad operations, which is what I am. And so a lot of people are wondering what is ad operations. If you're running like Google AdWords or running ads on Bing search engines and stuff, well, if you're an advertiser using Google AdWords and Bing advertising solutions, that system you're using is self-serve, right? Self-serve. All is the onus is on you to learn how to do it. But if you're placing an ad with a newspaper website or a magazine website, that system's not self-serve. That system has someone like me on the other side taking your order and then making sure that your ad appears properly. Um, so now, so I hear like, so now there's the system, right? The competition between like a self-serve system like Google AdWords and Bing and stuff, and then there's a competition between like the print system on the internet, which has like individuals like me on the other side taking your order. Like the salesperson takes your order, they would pass it on to someone like me. We read the order and we make sure that the ad appears on those websites properly. And so now that's where the competition between the self-serve, so like machine learning system and the human operated system, right? So that's where I come from. I came from like ad operations. I take the order from sales, and then I make sure your ad appears properly. And then sales would come to me and say how the ads do, how can we make it run better, how can we improve the results, and then they take that back to the client. So was I ever threatened? I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say like this. It's well, and then at the end I'll say I think personally, okay, I'll inject this, okay, interject this. I think now, I think I was under the belief that Atlanta was chosen for Amazon HQ2, but I think it has not been chosen actually. So now I'm starting to believe that news is fake. Because in hindsight, you look at it, it's like, wouldn't you jump at a chance, like the first state that gave you $7 billion, when you just jump at it? But now everybody's giving them $7 billion in terms of tax credits, but that's still coming out of the state's wallet, right? So it's like, where are all these states coming out with $7 billion that they didn't have before? Because it's still coming out of their wallet. So everybody's offering Amazon HQ2 $7 billion. They still haven't chosen. I'm starting to think it's fake. Okay, so I interjected that because some people just can't keep their pants on. But this blog COMMGiving is really not about ad operations. It's about the advertiser, right? And whether you use a self-service system or you run it on a newspaper website, it's really about the goals and making sure that you're translating your goals into the right ads and stuff like that. But in terms of ad operations, I am of the belief, and can you believe this? I'm of the belief that newspapers on the internet, magazines on the internet lost money because of too many errors. Yeah, can you believe that? Too many errors in terms of ad operators not executing orders properly and not providing the right advice back up to the chain, like to sales, and then from sales to clients. so many errors were done that corporations lost money. I'm of that belief. Nowadays, um, there's a type of job that not a lot of people um, use anymore, and it's called the operator. Um, back in the old day when manufacturing was so much bigger, there used to be a position called just the operator. The operator, and I don't maybe the old phone operator. I don't necessarily mean that. I mean like the manufacturing operator. And the thing with that is like these ad systems, whether you have a person behind it or if it's machine learning, for the most part, I say 80% of the time they run by themselves. But for 20% of the time, and that's why you need somebody there. And even Google, I'm sure, inside that company, even though most of AdWords and Bing ad solutions run by itself, there's a team there just making sure there's no hiccups, right? So that's the operator. The operator, mostly 80% of their day, you know, is really just staring at a screen, making sure everything's okay still. It's only 20% of the time yeah, like a firefighter. You know, a firefighter, like 80% of the time, they just hang out, cleaning the fire truck, making sure they stay in shape. You know, God forbid, right? There should be a fire every hour. So that's sort of like the nature of the operator's job. So it's it's grueling in its own way. It's grueling in its own way. It's boring as hell, right? It's boring as hell. That's why it's grueling. It's boring as hell. And and if you're prone to that, so like the paranoia or that anxiety that a lot of people experience at work, you can feel like they'll fire you anytime. Because 80% of the time, you I swear to you, you're not doing anything. Because the system runs by itself. It's only that 20%. But my so like my belief is that um, when that 20% happens, like they did such a shitty job, corporations lost money. So 80% there was somebody there, but when there was a fire, they did such a shitty job, everything burned down. So that's my belief. Because 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 personally, I think if you did ad operations right, you would make money. Um, and so there's a really good analogy. It's almost like being a truck driver for a truck that drives itself. So you still need somebody there, even though the truck drives itself. And the bigger the cargo, like the bigger the corporation, the harder it is. Because driving a truck is like if your cargo is really big, the wind might blow it off the road and stuff. So the bigger the corporation, the harder it is to maneuver the truck. And even if it drives itself, you still have to be there. So the bigger the cargo, the harder it is to drive the truck. Even though most 80% of the time it drives itself. When something happens, you gotta be on it right away, and you gotta know what to do right away. So that's sort of like the operator's job nowadays. When most systems run by itself 80% of the time, but when a snafu happens, you gotta be on it right away, and you gotta know what to do right away. Especially if corporation's bigger, the cargo is bigger. Um, so nowadays, a lot of people are not aware of that type of job, the operator, you know, the manufacturing operator. So that's my belief. Too many errors occurred. Corporations lost money. If you did it properly, you would have made money. Um, so that's sort of like ad operations. How does it have to do with your celebrity, right? The audience and making a profit. Okay, so this is how corporations that sell ads like a newspaper on the web or TV station on the web use celebrity. All right, and this might be if you're using a self-serve system like Google AdWords or Bing advertising solutions. This is how you would use it too. Is that say Tiger Woods and Cristiano Ronaldo were big hits on TV. So next year, if Tiger Woods appears in, and Cristiano Ronaldo appears again in a match or competition, you know that weekend's going to be huge. So if you're using self-serve system, you might stick your ad in there because you know that weekend's going to be huge. Same with like a newspaper on the internet. If Tiger Woods or Cristiano Ronaldo is going to appear that weekend, you know that weekend's going to be huge. So they go out, they push it like that. This weekend's going to be huge because Tiger Woods is going to be there or Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be there, and they sell it like that. And so that's how celebrity has to do with media and advertising. All right, not necessarily licensing their name, but you know if those athletes going to be appearing that weekend's going to be huge. That weekend's going to be a huge blockbuster everywhere on the web, in print, on TV, on radio. That weekend's going to be huge. Having said that, though, you can't really predict these things, right? Because the reverse can also happen, and not necessarily with celebrities, maybe with celebrities, but the reverse can happen, where it's like some rain out, right, and then the weekend's not so huge. You know, some strike, and the weekend's not so huge, or you know whatever, some cancellation, weekend's not so huge. So the reverse can happen, and so traffic can go up and down, up and down. So if you're gonna use that kind of stuff, like you know, the weekend's gonna be huge, you're prone to the weekend not being huge as well. So if you want to play it safe, just you know take what was you know just to keep it easy, just sell your pattern from last year. All right, sell your pattern from last year, and you're always a year behind. Like last year, we got so many people that weekend. So at least we ought to get the same amount of people this weekend, even though there's now Cristiano Ronaldo and there's now Tiger Woods, who are so huge. But you know what? We're just gonna go with average, because if you're gonna use that kind of stuff, you're also prone to the negative side, which is cancellation, which is rain out, which is right. And then if they cancel, you're like, oh, I hate Tiger Woods, I hate Cristiano Ronaldo. You're right? They cost me money, I hate them. Right? So if you're gonna use that, you're prone to the negative side as well. So just sell from last year, and you're always a year behind, because now those guys are on the scene so like permanently. It's their career, so the years gotta go up, right? So just sell from a year behind. Last year they weren't so big on the scene, right? And then so this year they will be. So your ratings will start to go up, but like you're always a year behind, because if you start looking ahead, predicting ahead, you're also prone to the negative side. Like they canceled this weekend. There was a rain out this weekend, and then they start disappointing you, and then you start hating them for something that has nothing to do with sports. So that's what I would do, because I seen it. You know, when you try to predict ahead and they disappoint you because of a rain out, a cancellation or something, and then you take it really personally, but it has nothing to do with them or the game. So that's what I would do. All right. So that's ad operations, celebrity audience, predicting ahead, and then they disappoint you, and you hate them for no reason, right? So and then my Amazon HQ2. Okay. I just woke up, so as you can see, I don't really share that much on the weekend. I just talk. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.